We've all heard Jules talk about putting finishing touches on the room she's styling inside. Well, I'm going to take a leaf out of her book and start putting some finishing touches to our backyard. Starting with the lawn here. Now, it's all about preparation. I've had all my soil brought in, I've had my pop-ups installed, they've all been checked, and now it's time to roll this soil down. I've had most of it done, I've only got a little bit to finish off. By rolling the soil, what I'm actually doing is eliminating the chance for this to actually sink later on. And make sure that you set your level so that the water will drain away from your lawn area. It's equally as important that you get water to your lawn as you can get water away, so you don't get any soggy parts. All right, now I'm just going to give it a light rake here. So I'm just sort of breaking the surface up. I'm not really digging in too deep. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to be able to get my fertilisers and my wetting agents to just sit nicely in the soil, and also just so that the roots of the turf that I'm laying down aren't going into like a cement-like base here, and they're just broken up, so it's really scuffing the top. All right, so that's me done. Now, I've got everything raked, I'm all good to go. Now, whether I was setting this up for a seeded lawn or an instant lawn like this one today, the preparation is very, very similar, but one of the most important things that you can do, whether you're doing seed or instant lawn, is give it the best start in life. So I'm going to be adding some starter here, and I'm using some Munns Super Start. Now what this will do, this will basically give the new lawn all the nutrients that it needs to get going. I'm going to start sprinkling this around. And I want to show you a little tip that I like to use. I like to give everything a light dusting first and not use the whole bucket, because what can happen sometimes is that you can use up all your product and get to the end and find out that you don't have enough. So I'll just give it a light once over first. All right, so I've got a nice even coverage on here. Now, before I start laying down my lawn, I want to make sure that I've got a wetting agent here as well. This is sandy soil here, and I've put a sandy loam down as well, which is the best thing to use under any turf. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't hold a lot of moisture, and when I'm looking for moisture being kept around the roots, then this is the perfect thing to put in. Once again, tipping it in the bucket. Now for sandy soils, I'm going to need about 2.5 kilograms, which is about 1/4 of this bag. So that's about 1/4 of the bag. And I'm just going to sprinkle this round the exact same way, just a nice even coat. Now what this will do is this holds up to about 5 times its own weight in water, which is going to keep the moisture around these roots. Well, that's looking great. That's our preparation done. Now it's turf time. The boys have gone out the front to get a bit more turf, and as you can see, they've started laying it in. We've started along that nice straight edge that we created with our garden edging, and by doing that, it's set it up as a ruler to keep us nice and straight for the rest of our job. Now, it's important when you're laying down your turf that you try and keep it as tightly knitted as you possibly can. I love using the rake to try and push this right where I need it and keep it tightly thatched. Now, you'll notice this half piece here. I've laid it in that way because when you're doing your turf, also you want to lay it like brickwork. 1/2, 1 full one. Now, what happens when you get to a point like this where you roll out your turf and we're abutting our planter box? How do you cut it? Well, simple. What I'm going to do is roll this up the wall, get this out of my way, and then before I cut, I just want to make sure that I've pushed this in nice and tight, like so. Get my knife, and I'm going to cut in nice and tight to the wall. A little bit of a sawing action. The beauty of this knife is it's really easy to use. I'm just following the edge. There. Okay. So, there you have it. Now, we could probably use that offcut somewhere else. Now, you can see that's a nice, tight cut along there. And it looks like it's been there forever. That's the sort of finish you want. So I'm going to continue along here, get a few more laid out, and you wait and see what this looks like when it's finished. Well, there is nothing like the impact you get from laying a new lawn, whether it be seeded or an instant one like this. And I tell you what, this has made a big difference here. Now you'll notice I've got some sand laid out on top of the joins here. With buffalo lawn, it's important that you do this. It'll stop them from drying out. So all I have to do from here is water it in, and I'll be mowing this in no time at all.